Alright guys, this will be the last video this week. Finish up law of cosines. Okay, remember the two situations where we can use law of cosines. It is SAS and SSS. Clearly that's what we have here, SSS. Okay, so we have all three sides. We know nothing about the three angles, so that's what we're looking for. Now with SSS, it makes no difference where you start. Okay, you could start at any one of the three angles. Okay, so I'm going to find the measure of angle A first. Okay, so if I'm using law of cosines, let's see, I have to start with what's opposite angle A. So 17.8 squared equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Okay, 10.2 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times these two sides times 10.5. I'm sorry, 10.2 times 15 times the cosine of the angle that's opposite where I started, so cosine of angle A. Okay, so obviously we're going to have to simplify this and use cosine inverse. Okay, so let's see, 17.8 squared. I'm getting 316.84. Okay, I'm going to square these and add them together. So 10.2 squared plus 15 squared is 225. Okay, I'm getting 329.04 minus, multiply these together. So I'm going to get, let's see, 30 times 10.2, okay, 306. Cosine of angle A. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if I isolate cosine of angle A, notice I'm going to have to go 316.84 minus this. That's going to give me a negative. Okay, and then I'll be dividing by a negative 306, so both of those will cancel each other out as far as the negative signs go. Okay, so let's go 316.84 minus 329.04. Okay, it's a negative 12.2, but it cancels with this negative, so I'll just put a positive 12.2 there. And obviously I would have to divide by the negative 306, but the negative cancels, so it's just 306. Okay, so the measure of angle A will be cosine inverse, okay, of this ratio, 12.2 over 306. Okay, so we just punch that into our calculator. Second, cosine inverse, 12.2 divided by 306, and I am getting 87.72 when it's rounded off to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so this guy, 87.72 degrees. Okay, I'm going to go after angle B next. Okay, so I'm going after angle B. I have to start with the 15. So 15 squared equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides, 10.2 squared plus 17.8 squared minus 2 times the other two sides. So 2 times 10.2 times 17.8 times the cosine of angle B. Okay, let's see, 15 squared is 225. Okay, I got to square these and add them together. That's what the calculator is for. 10.2 squared plus 17.8 squared. I'm getting 420.88. Multiply these guys together. 2 times 10.2 times 17.8. I'm getting 363.12 times the cosine of angle B. Okay, let's see, I've got to isolate the cosine of angle B. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to have to go 225 minus that. So obviously that's going to give me a negative number divided by this negative number. So the negatives cancel each other out. So let's see what I get. 225 minus 420.88. And that negative cancels off. So I'm going to get 195.88 divided by this negative, and obviously the negatives cancel each other out, so it's just positive 363.12. Okay, so the measure of angle B will be cosine inverse, okay, of that ratio, 195.88 divided by 363.12. All right, and I'm going to punch that into my calculator. Second cosine inverse, 195.88 divided by 363.12. Okay, and I'm getting 57.35 when it's rounded off to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so that guy. Okay, 57.35 pesos. Okay, so this guy, I know I should get something very close to 180 minus 87.72 minus 57.35. I should get something real close to that, so let's see what it should be. 0 minus 87.72 minus 57.35. So I should get something real close to 34.93 pesos. So let's see if that happens. Okay, remember, if I made a mistake over here, obviously I'm going to have multiple mistakes if I don't go through the process of finding angle C using the law of cosines. Okay, so let's do angle C. Okay, so I start opposite angle C, so I get 10.2 squared equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides, so that'd be 15 squared plus 17.8 squared minus 2 times 15 times 17.8 times the cosine of angle C. Okay, so 10.2 squared, I'm getting 104.04. Okay, 15 squared is 225, so 225 plus 17.8 squared, I'm getting 541.84 minus, okay, multiply these guys together. Okay, so 2 times 15 is 30, so I go 30 times 17.8, and I get 534 on the nose, cosine of angle C. Okay, so I have to isolate the cosine of angle C. So let's see, I'm going to go 104.04 minus this 541.84, and obviously that's going to be a negative number. So that negative sign will cancel with this negative sign when I do the division. Okay, so 104.04 minus 541.84. Okay, it's obviously negative, but it cancels with this negative once again. So I get 437.8 over 534. So the measure of angle C is cosine inverse of that ratio, 437.8 over 534. And so I punch it in there. Second cosine inverse, 437.8 divided by 534. And we get 34.93. 34.93 pesos. And if we look at what we were expecting to get and what we did get, it came out exactly the same. Okay, so we should be in good shape there. Okay, one last problem for the week. And once again, it's just a matter of how they deliver the information. Okay, so notice we have little a, little b, and little c, so we should assume that they are side lengths. So if those are side lengths, we would have to have triangle ABC. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my triangle ABC. It really doesn't matter what it looks like. Okay, so I'll put A here, so that means little a would be opposite 8.1. I'm going to put B here, so little b is opposite that at 10.4, and I'll put little c here, so little c is opposite that at 6.2. Okay, so just like the last problem, doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start on angle A. Okay, so let's see. I get 8.1 squared equals 6.2 squared plus 10.4 squared minus 2 times 6.2 times 10.4 times the cosine of angle A. Okay, see 8.1 squared, I'm getting 65.61. Okay, I'm going to square those two guys and add them together. So 6.2 squared plus 10.4 squared, I'm getting 146.6. Okay, multiply these guys together. So, and remember, that's 6.2, not 62. Okay, so 2 times 6.2 times 10.4, I'm getting 128.96 times the cosine of angle A. And then obviously I have to isolate cosine of angle A. Okay, so let's see here. When I go 65.61 minus this, it's going to give me something that's negative. 65.61 minus 146.6. I get a negative 80.99, but that negative will cancel with this negative. Okay, so I'll make it positive. So 80.99 divided by this guy, 128.96. Okay, so the measure of angle A will be cosine inverse of that ratio, 80.99 divided by 128.96. Okay, so we just punch that into our calculator. Second cosine inverse, 80.99 divided by 128.96. And I am getting 51.10 when it's rounded off. Okay, so that would be my angle A. Okay, 51.10 pesos. I'm going to go after angle B next. Okay, so let's see. So we start with the 10.4. Okay, so we have 10.4 squared equals 6.2 squared plus 8.1 squared minus 2 times 6.2 times 8.1 times the cosine of angle B. Okay, same process. 10.4 squared. I'm getting 108.16. Okay, square those and add them together. So 6.2 squared plus 8.1 squared. And I'm getting 104.05. 04.05 minus, let's see, multiply 2 times 6.2 times 8.1 times 6.2 times 8.1 and 100.44 cosine of angle B. Okay, so I isolate cosine of angle B. And notice right here, you got to be careful with your signs, because when I go 108.16 minus 104.05, that's going to be positive, and then it's divided by a negative. So we don't have negative signs canceling each other off. So let's see, 108.16 minus 104.05, and that's a positive 4.11 divided by a negative 100.44. Okay, so let's see, the measure of angle B, notice I'm going to have a negative ratio here, will be cosine inverse. Okay, doesn't matter where you put the negative sign, I'll just leave it down below where it's at. 4.11 divided by negative 100.44. Okay, so let's see, second cosine inverse, 4.11 divided by negative 100.44. And I am getting 92.35 pesos when it's rounded off. So this guy looks like, if I'm doing the math right, this is real close to being a right triangle. So 92.35. Okay, so let's see this guy. I should get something real close to 180 minus 92.35 minus 51.10. Okay, so let's see, what should I get? 180 minus 92.35 minus 51.10. All right, so I should get something real close to 36.55 pesos. And once again, if you stop here and you got a mistake, you're not going to know it. So I would certainly keep going. Okay, so let's see, we're going to do the measure of angle C, so I have to start with 6.2. So 6.2 squared equals 10.4 squared plus 8.1 squared minus 2 times 10.4 times 8.1 times the cosine of angle C. All right, 6.2 squared. I'm getting 38.44. All right, let's see, 10.4 squared plus 8.1 squared. I'm getting 173.77 minus, okay, 2 times 10.4 times 8.1, okay, 168.48 times the cosine of angle C. Okay, so let's see. Once again, isolate cosine of angle C. Okay, so notice I'm going to have to go 38.44 minus this 173.77. That's going to be negative, and then it'll be divided by another negative number, so the negatives cancel each other off. So let's see, what ratio do I get? 38.4, yeah, that makes no sense. 38.44 minus 173.77. Okay, so I'm going to get, when I cancel off the negative signs, 135.33 over 168, and again the negative sign cancel off, 48. Okay, so my measure of angle C is cosine inverse of this ratio, 135.33 divided by 168.48. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, cosine inverse, 135.33, 35.33 divided by 168.48. I'm getting 36.56 when it's rounded off the nearest hundredth. And notice this guy here obviously is real close to this guy here. So I should feel pretty good about my measure of angle C right there. Okay, so we're in good shape. Okay, that's the last video for the week. Don't forget about the quiz that's due on Monday. Okay, if you guys have any questions about anything, just shoot me an email and we'll get you all squared away. Be safe.